3 times, the world almost ended. Welcome to Your Dose of Wowness.
A screen flashes red. One word, launch. Then the count climbs. 1 missile, then 4 more. An American nuclear strike, according to the machine in front of him. One man is alone in the room. No committee, no vote. Just him, a clock counting down, and a decision that has to be made in minutes. This is the night the world almost ended because of a false alarm, and the one man who didn't believe it. The Soviet Union genuinely believed that month that an American surprise attack was a real possibility. That fear is exactly what made this false alarm so dangerous. By September 1983, the geopolitical temperature had reached a boiling point. President Ronald Reagan was steadily escalating his public rhetoric, formally describing the Soviet Union as an evil empire, while NATO moved ahead with the deployment of Pershing II missiles to Western Europe. Then, just weeks before the incident, the Soviet military shot down Korean Airlines Flight 007, killing all 269 people on board. International condemnation followed immediately, leaving the Soviet military deeply suspicious and bracing for a sudden, aggressive American response. Deep inside the Serpukhov-15 command center outside Moscow, Stanislav Petrov was monitoring the OKO system. This was a brand new, early warning satellite network designed to detect the infrared heat signature of American missile launches from orbit. The military relied on it to provide a crucial head start before ground-based radar could confirm a launch. Combine that unproven technology with a deeply paranoid political climate, and you get a very lethal trap. As Petrov reported an incoming strike, the Soviet leadership, already expecting an attack, was practically guaranteed to authorize an immediate, retaliatory nuclear launch. On the night of September 26th, the alarm inside the bunker triggered. The system insisted an American strike was underway. An intercontinental ballistic missile takes roughly 23 minutes to reach Soviet soil from the United States, giving Petrov a severely compressed window to act. Protocol said report it as confirmed. Petrov didn't follow protocol. He followed a hunch he could actually explain. The computer was reporting exactly 5 missiles, but according to Soviet military logic, a real American first strike would never start this way. To decapitate the Soviet Union's ability to hit back, the US would need to launch hundreds of missiles at once to saturate every defense. To Petrov, a 5-missile opening was a strategic impossibility. As we isolate the OKO satellite itself, we have to look at Petrov's own background. He had helped engineer this network. He knew the software was new, imperfectly tested, and prone to misinterpreting random infrared data as the heat signature of a rocket engine. Panning down to the ground, the secondary verification tools told a completely different story. The ground-based radar dishes sweeping the horizon showed absolutely nothing. If 5 missiles had actually been launched from the US, the radar should have spotted them by now. 2 Cold War near misses in, and both times it came down to one person choosing not to trust what they were being told. Subscribe to catch the next 2, and let me know in the comments, would you have trusted your own read on the system over the protocol in front of you? Weighing the bizarre strategy, the buggy satellites, and the totally empty radar screens, Petrov made his final call. He picked up the phone and reported the alert up the chain as a system malfunction. Then he sat in the bunker and let the clock run down to 0. No missiles arrived. Global annihilation was averted. It was stopped entirely by one engineer applying calm, technical skepticism to overpower a broken machine. A subsequent military investigation proved Petrov's judgment was correct. An unusual alignment of sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds above Montana had produced an intense infrared glare. The OKO satellite software misread that glare as the exhaust of 5 ballistic missiles. He was right, and instead of a medal, he got a reprimand for messy paperwork. Petrov's assessment deeply embarrassed his colleagues by exposing the severe flaws in their prized early warning network. He faced professional friction, left the military a few years later, and lived an ordinary, modest life, while the details of his decision remained classified for over a decade. Compare this moment to Vasily Arkhipov inside submarine B-59. Arkhipov had to argue his dissent face-to-face with 2 other officers. Petrov's challenge required him to fight an automated screen and institutional protocol entirely alone, with no one to share the weight of the choice. history rarely turns on moments of highly choreographed bravery. In this case, the safety of the world relied on a man failing to do what his job required and bearing the weight of that choice in total isolation. No medal, no headline, just a quiet decision that history almost forgot to notice. Next time, the near miss isn't one man's judgment call at all. It's an entire military exercise that an already nervous Soviet leadership nearly mistook for the real thing. That's Day 117, Able Archer 83.